Welcome to another episode of the 40 Hour Cricket Podcast with Jim and Akim. Today we'll be discussing the game played earlier between India and Afghanistan. Really it's a game between Rohit Sharma and Afghanistan. Your thoughts?
I think the Indian performance was very efficient. They executed very well in the game. Afghanistan, I believe, got a decent start batting. At one point, you would think that they were poised to get above 300, 320. They were out at about 200 for four in 35 overs. But the Indian bowling really clawed their way back into the game. Jasprit Bumrah was excellent. He has arrived at this World Cup now. He took 4 wickets today. Shardul Thakur came into the team for the game today. He bowled a decent spell in the middle, picked up a wicket. Hardik Pandya, I think, bowled well as well, picked up 2 wickets, and he will be a key person for them in this World Cup as probably the third seamer. Kuldeep Yadav bowled a good spell, 10 overs for 40. Jadeja was good, economical. I don't think his services were that high in demand in this game, but he was still tidy on the day. Disappointment would be Siraj and his execution for India.
Yeah, just to give an overview, Afghanistan made 272 for 8 from their allotment of 50. Hashmatullah and Azmatullah,
Yeah.
the Mat boys, put on a good partnership. They saw 130 for the fourth wicket,
Yeah.
and it was a good showing from them. The disappointment would be how they finished the innings.
Yeah.
They were about 200 at the 40th over and could only muster 70 towards the end of the game. As you said earlier, Bumrah bowled very, very well. It was a flat pitch. It was the same wicket that we saw the world record 428
Yeah.
with South Africa, and on a pitch where everyone else went over 6 and 7s. Bumrah bowled his 10 for 50 and got 4 wickets. As I said, Siraj was disappointed.
Yeah.
I thought he was too full. Bumrah finally showed us how to bowl on a batting wicket
Yes.
consistently on the top of the half stump and not trying too many variations. Bowling an excessive amount of cutters and slower balls on a wicket that is not really gripping doesn't make any sense. You just have to be consistent, set the field accordingly, bowl the best ball, and just try and contain batsmen.
Yeah, it was proper 50 over bowling. It said that the length was a bit defensive, almost a holding length, and he was consistent and he just executed. His experience really showed in this innings, in this game today.
India's batting innings.
It was the Rohit Sharma show, really. He was brilliant. He got to his century of 65 balls. It was his seventh 50 over World Cup century. He now has the most centuries in 50 over World Cups. He has 7 centuries in 19 innings, I believe, which is phenomenal. I think Ishan Kishan was also good. He, along with Rohit Sharma, gave India a very good start in the power play, especially. He would have been disappointed not to have gotten to his half century, but he gave them a very good platform. And then after that, it was pretty much Virat Kohli, the king of the chase, who came in and he got yet another half century in a chasing effort for India. Came not out, and he has looked good in the World Cup thus far. Second half century in 2 games, and India really look like they're ticking all the boxes right now.
The Afghan bowling effort, they started where the first 2 overs were pretty tidy, and then Rohit Sharma took over. Mujib was going at 10s in the power play.
Yeah, it was expensive.
Fazalak and Naveen didn't really put up much of a fight either.
It didn't look threatening at all.
A key issue with the Afghanistan bowling though. The score was already 130 when
Rashid Khan
Rashid
came on
Khan
to bowl,
came on to bowl.
and he's a
And
trump card.
there were already 14 overs bowled. It's been a trend with Afghanistan and Rashid Khan where he comes on in the 14th and the 15th. It works against lesser teams because they have Mujib up front as well as Naveen
Would have
to
already picked up a
hold
couple
and
wickets.
pick up a couple wickets. And as a result, Rashid Khan's record against the top teams isn't really something to speak about. He hasn't been doing that well. It's as if they had a plan and decided if they went at 20 and over for the first 10 overs,
They just needed to get through
they just
them.
needed to get through the power play before Rashid Khan could bowl. I think Rashid should have come on
You know?
probably before Naveen
Yeah.
at like the 6th, 7th over and try and get a wicket. I'm not saying it would have changed the game, but it makes no sense. You have a nuke in your back pocket and you're losing the war. You need to fight.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Being the most successful bowler that they have, the most experienced bowler, he has to come on in the pressure situations in the game. It makes no sense for him to come on and bowl with a score already at
Half of the score gone.
I would already at 130, 140, and India well on their way. The game was pretty much over as a contest at that point, and he picked up 2 wickets, but the 2 wickets were almost non-factors in the game,
It
really.
was already gone.
The game was already gone.
Rashid Khan coming on to bowl to a set Rohit Sharma and a dead wicket that has seen multiple scores over 300 for the World Cup so thus far makes no sense. Additionally, his lengths. He's bowling a T20 length.
Yeah, it's been
Guys
very
are just
defensive.
sitting on him and milking him. 4 singles, 5 singles on the odd boundary going at 8 and over. And he's struggling. He came in struggling against the better teams and he probably needs to take some of the pace off the ball
Yeah.
and go a little full and a little more on the stumps. The stumps are there for a reason. You probably should bowl at them.
And Mujib is struggling as well. I don't think Mujib has taken a wicket in the tournament as yet. He was a lot more economical in the first game, but in this game he was disappointing, and the Indians really took the attack to him. Before the start of the tournament, we looked at this Afghanistan bowling lineup and we said that they would probably be a bit of a challenge. They were a team that could probably spring a surprise, and we thought that it would probably be the batting that would let them down if they were to fall short in any other games. But in this game especially, the bowling effort was very disappointing from them.
It was quite a convincing victory. India won by 8 wickets with
Many
90
overs.
balls, 90 balls
15
to go.
overs to go.
15 overs. It was quite astonishing. Quick thought. Rohit Sharma's ability to play this freely in this game. Shardul Thakur coming in, adding a extra batsman, so to speak, in the lower order. I think when teams lengthen their batting lineups like that, it provides the top order with freedom to go out and play.
Yeah, I do think that it is a factor. We saw it today in the way that Rohit Sharma went about his innings. He was explosive. He got India off to a flyer, and I think it was probably because of the fact that he knew that the batting was a bit longer. Thakur is a fairly handy player. He would have probably come in at number 7, number 8 in this order.
8.
Yeah, he would have probably come in at number 8 in this order, and that lengthens the batting a bit. Came in the place of Ashwin, who is no more with the bat either, but Thakur is probably somebody more suited to the limited overs game, a player who is a bit more explosive, and he has shown his competence in one-day cricket. So it was a good addition for the Indian batting lineup, and it allowed Rohit to express himself some more, and it India would love to see Rohit Sharma playing like this throughout the tournament. Shubman Gill is out of the 11 now. With dengue, he hasn't played a game in the tournament thus far. And a firing Rohit Sharma, especially at World Cups, is a dangerous animal. And he has awoken in this tournament, and the signs are ominous for the teams that still have to play against this team, India.
The way forward for Afghanistan?
I think it's going to be a work in progress with them. The bowling has to come to the party.
They have a risk spin on the bench. You think you'd come in for Mujib or the other opening fast bowler, the left-hander?
Probably the opening fast bowler. I don't think Mujib will come out of the starting 11, but I think the bowling lineup really has to come to the fore in this tournament. I believe that the next game they play, they'll probably bowl first if they win the toss.
I think Nabi needs to come up as well.
Yeah, Nabi has been sedate.
If Nabi wasn't Mohamed Nabi today, they would have gotten 300.
Yeah.
He got 19 from about 30 balls. So, 27 balls, 19 runs. One boundary.
Yeah, he's been having a sedate tournament thus far, both with the bat and the ball. So he's a big performer for them that also needs to turn up in this tournament. So going forward, they would look at the teams that they have to play. I believe that they would probably be better suited bowling first in the next game that they play and probably the next games to come. If that bowling unit can get it right, I believe that they would feel a lot more confident chasing a score of around 250, 240. So it's really about the bowling team executing for them in this tournament.
The only team I see them having a chance of beating right now is Netherlands.
Netherlands?
Bangladesh already beat them.
Yeah. And you would feel that Sri Lanka has enough to topple them as well.
Sri Lanka has enough. With Mendes playing as is.
It's fine for him.
Alright, that's the end of this preview for today. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.